From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Friday, June 3rd. It is always nice to close out the work week with such a beautiful day. We are getting one today. Best weather day of the week. Lots of sunshine, near average temps in the upper 70s, and low humidity. This morning, a man is dead after he was hit by a car. Police say somebody is in custody, but they aren't calling that person a suspect. Police say that they did take that person of interest in for questioning. They stopped short of calling that person a person of interest. IMPD says they responded to 2 calls at Tilly's Pub and Grill. Both came in just after midnight, about midnight midnight this morning. The first was for a man partially trapped under a black Chevy Impala. The second was for a disturbance in the parking lot. Police say firefighters pronounced the man dead at the scene. Police aren't sure the man was hit on purpose, so they're considering this a death investigation right now. Homicide detectives are there at the scene, though. Now officers are hoping somebody will come forward with more information. Police haven't released the names of the victim or person in custody. IMPD asks anyone with information to call detectives at 317-327-3475. To Capitol Hill, where President Biden looks to drive up pressure on Congress to pass stricter gun limits. Biden delivered an impassioned address to the nation, telling Congress over and over again to take action. He said voters should use their outrage to turn gun violence into a central issue in November's midterm elections. Meredith Wood breaks down the president's speech.
There are too many other schools, too many other everyday places that have become killing fields, battlefields here in America.
As Americans struggle to grasp a lethal wave of mass shootings that are traumatizing communities and tearing lives apart.
After Columbine, after Sandy Hook, after Charleston, after Orlando, after Las Vegas, after Parkland, nothing has been done.
President Biden is calling out Congress to come together and work on bipartisan gun reform laws.
This is not about taking away anyone's guns. It's not about vilifying gun owners. In fact, we believe we should be treating responsible gun owners as an example of how every gun owner should behave.
The president laying out actions he believes need to be taken.
And if we can't ban assault weapons, then we should raise the age to purchase them from 18 to 21. Strengthen background checks, enact safe storage law and red flag laws. Repeal the immunity that protects gun manufacturers from liability. Address the mental health crisis.
Senate GOP leader Mitch McConnell says he's hopeful and optimistic lawmakers can compromise on legislation to address mass shootings to have ready to unveil when the Senate returns to session next week.
Mental illness and school safety are what we need to target.
I'm Meredith Wood reporting.
The Protecting Our Kids Act moves to the full House. The House Judiciary Committee approved the wide-ranging gun control legislation yesterday. It raises the age limit for buying a semi-automatic rifle from 18 to 21, among other proposals. The House is set to vote on the bill next week, though with Republicans mostly opposed, the Senate is unlikely to take up the bill. A bipartisan group of Indiana mayors wants the Senate to expand gun buyer background checks. Indianapolis's Joe Hogsett, Anderson's Tom Broderick, Fort Wayne's Tom Henry, Gary's Jerome Prince, and Carmel's Jim Brainerd all joined other U.S. mayors in sending a letter to the Senate. The letter urges lawmakers to improve 2 measures passed by the House last year. One requires background checks for all firearms purchases. The other extends the wait period from 3 to 10 days. Both bills are on the Senate calendar, but it's unclear when they'll be voted on. The gunman accused of killing 10 black people at a Buffalo supermarket last month pleaded not guilty to a total of 25 charges. A lawyer entered the plea yesterday. The gunman faces charges of murder, attempted murder, and domestic terrorism motivated by hate. The latter charge marks a first for New York. The gunman's been held without bail since the shooting on May 14th. He's due back in court July 7th. And to Allen County, a second flock of birds has tested positive for the avian flu. The State Board of Animal Health says nearly 100 birds are sick. The board says the owner reported unexplained deaths of 8 birds in less than 24 hours. A second flock in Allen County tested positive last month. So far, more than 171,000 turkeys and more than 17,000 ducks in the state have been infected. Gas prices break another Indiana record. Gas Buddy reports the average price of a gallon here is $4.93. That's up nearly 36 cents from last week's average and nearly 90 cents from last month's average. Marion County is slightly lower at $4.91 a gallon, but that's still higher than the national average of $4.77. Another record, by the way. And the Biden administration says some of the youngest Americans could be eligible for COVID-19 vaccines as early as the 21st of this month. Vaccine advisors for the FDA still have to review data from Pfizer and Moderna on their doses. That's planned to happen in about 2 weeks. The CDC must then also issue its recommendations. If all goes through, officials say it still could take some additional time to make the vaccine more widely available to that age group. And today, PopCon Indy 2022 opens downtown. It runs through Sunday at the Indiana Convention Center. Tickets start at $30. Organizers say you can celebrate comic books, video games, science fiction, and entertainment with celebrity guests. And lots of fun to be had there. We were live there on Daybreak all morning long. So much to do and so much to see. And today, organizers expect about 7,000 people to visit the Kokomo Strawberry Festival. They say tickets to get homemade strawberry shortcake are $6, and there's also an art fair for first time ever. The festival starts at 11 this morning, and it goes until 9 tonight outside the courthouse on Buckeye Street. And just in case you didn't hear, today is National Donut Day, and donut shops all across the area are giving away some freebies. Like at Dunkin', if you buy a drink, you get a free donut. At Pana, they're giving away a free donut. So if you have a favorite donut shop, you might want to pop in and see what's available today. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand for even more on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.